Yo, we back again. Another episode. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Real quick, two things. One, you see the hat back there. It's almost that time. It's almost. I'm not going. I'm not. The lights ain't fully up just yet. I'm not going full Mariah Carey just yet. But it's almost that time, and we're getting closer.
You sound like my girlfriend. She's like already talking about putting.
Hey man, I'm ready. I'm not gonna jump all the way into it. I'm not gonna jump all the way in, but I'm ready. Also, you see what's back here as well. I put a blanket on the bed for one reason. Coming up next week, USC versus UCLA. It's going to be a good one. I'm very excited for it. Me and Alec got some things to talk about. It's going to be very fun. So good things ahead. Good things going on right now. We just started interview with Cory. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys just watched that, a lot of good stuff going on across the board. We'll, as you guys have seen, we've been trying to interject the NBA stuff a little bit as we go on. We'll jump into that fully after the NFL season. we wanted to really we wanted to have a hymn zone for it. We wanted to fully discuss that and things, but as you guys have seen, we've really gotten into what's going on with the NFL this year. So for right now, that'll stay the main focus. We'll still, as we do at times, interject Laker conversations and King conversations and some other things as well. But for right now, the NFL will be the main topic of discussion for the show as you go on until the season ends there. So just wanted to say that amongst other things, as we get started again here for week 10 of the NFL season. I'm excited for it all. Thank you guys for tuning back in. Like, rate, review, subscribe, all of that for us. Follow us on IG and TikTok at section.300. Follow us on Twitter at section sports. Follow me at Just Say G and Alec at Alec R. Foster online. And we're back for another one, man. It's about to be a good one. Appreciate y'all. Let's do it. So, like I said, we're back, man. Me and Alec for another good episode with you guys. As we just said, we just had an interview with Cory, as you guys just saw, talking about all the things going on with the Chargers this year and beyond. Got some insight from him about the inner workings of what's going on for those guys over in SoFi, and definitely fun things there. So as we start with our Week 9 reaction, we'll skip past the Chargers already, since we already talked about them, and jump straight to the Rams. And the Rams, again, have had another tough week as they had lost the last second to the Bucs. The Bucs were spiraling themselves, but found a way to have a good week against us, and definitely was a sad one. So we're just going to jump straight into it. I'm going to ask you this, Alec. Okay. Is the season already over for the Rams?
I don't think the season is over, just because this division has been pretty mid, except for the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been good.
Right.
The 49ers made that big move to get CMC, so it looks like they're going to have an upward trajectory. But Cardinals in a similar spot. They're 3-6, so even worse than the Rams right now. I don't think it's over, but I think it's very close to it, because I feel like they had, going into the season, a tough schedule that I was already only having them at about 10-7 or so. And so that would be only 2 more losses, and I think they have a couple more games on this schedule that are going to be tough. I see, looking at it, they have the Chiefs in a couple weeks. They have the Seahawks, and then they have the Chargers later and the Seahawks later. So I mean, like, it's still possible, because there are some easier games in there that I didn't mention.
Right.
As far as making the playoffs, and the NFC is looking like the weaker conference as opposed to the AFC. So I wouldn't say it's over, but it's not looking great right now, their prospects, with how bad the offensive line's been, how they've struggled to move the ball beyond Cooper Kupp. Running back situation seems unclear. I don't know if they're going to be able to sign Odell. Odell's probably going to be looking elsewhere if they're still struggling. So it very much could be the end very soon. But right now, the playoffs are still a possibility for them.
I say it's very close, as you said as well. I'll lean more towards yes, in that looking at the division and just a lot of teams around the league, they're starting to finally get healthier. There are teams that I believe, like the Chargers and teams like that, I think are much more on the upward climb. For the division, a team like the Cardinals, who I think will continue to improve as they continue to find their balance with D-Hop now back in the fold and things of that nature. I think there are more teams around us that are figuring things out as the Rams are still falling apart. So with that being the case, I guess I'll lean more towards the yes side of that question, and we'll see how if they can still find a way to finish strong in some regard this year. So definitely, just a tough bounce back from the Super Bowl that we just won last year, and not what we expected to see as our new product back on the field, but is what it is right now, and I'm excited to see how they fix things moving forward. So interesting things going on in LA. Moving on to the Ravens, I talked about my team as well. We beat the Saints on Monday night. Was very excited to see that. And yeah, just a few takeaways from that. One was that, again, thank God for Roquan Smith. As I said, he definitely helped shut down that run game of the Saints. And Kamara was neutralized, at least in some regard, enough to for us to have what seemed like a pretty dominant performance, actually. I was glad to see that. And in that same way, I was glad we played a full game. There were times where we had we were up, like, I think it was like 17-3 or whatever going into the fourth. And I was still sitting there like, okay, it's still going to happen at some point. They're still going to find a way. Dalton's going to throw some pass to somebody, and it's going to piss me off, and here we go again. But instead, they kept pressing the gas, and the Ravens got it done all the way through. Had a very impressive performance on Monday. So very glad to see that. And I guess with that, I'll ask, can the Ravens be the Super Bowl team that we hope this year, but building off the momentum of that Monday night game?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I had them at 13-4, I think, going into the season. I don't think it's crazy that they could still reach a record like that, to be honest. I think they can still win the AFC East, the Bengals. I mean, not East, AFC North. The Bengals are there, of course, and have showed an upward trajectory of their own. But I think Lamar is still a very dynamic player, and the team revolves around him, and we've seen what he can do in previous years. So I think he can lead them to a division win and a high seed in these AFC playoffs. I'm very much high on the Ravens prospects still, even with their deficiencies or lack of weapons, because we've seen Lamar and Harbaugh put it together in the past. You've seen an emergence of Isaiah Likely in Andrews' absence with his injury. As we talked about last episode with Matt, maybe they can incorporate him even while Andrews is healthy to give Lamar another weapon to use as they have Rashad Bateman, I believe, is out for the season now.
I believe so. Yep.
So that's going to be even more of a necessity to get another passing option out there. And maybe they go hard for Odell as well too. But yeah, I think this team can be one of the teams that's cream of the crop in the AFC still.
Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I'm excited to see how that goes. Something that Odell talked about, he did an interview recently and said that he wants to go somewhere, not only where he could be, I guess, not like a mercenary for a year and help them get somewhere, but wants to have somewhere he could stay for a little while and call it home. Yeah. And I think he really could establish himself in Baltimore and still be the prominent figure that we know him to be there as well. If he decides to come here. I think, to our point a couple of weeks ago about if Bateman was a true number one, if that's still a debate this year and going for the next 2-3 years, whatever, if Odell is there, Odell could be that guy. They both could be the 1A, 1B in that offense, alongside Duvernay, who has emerged a little bit as well. So I think there's plenty of room for all those guys to succeed, and I'm interested to see if he makes that call. Also in there, you talked about the a little bit of the creativity of the team. I just hope that stays, because as I mentioned before, it seems like it requires a deficiency somewhere for our team to get more creative, which shouldn't be the case. A play that I'll point out again later on, we did for one of my best plays was a sprint we did to the right with Lamar. We faked the sprint to the right, like he was going to do a run play, and he actually turned up and threw the ball to Isaiah Likely for a touchdown, which was a great design. And seeing stuff like that, I hope that stays around once Andrews is back in the fold. And to your point last week about using the two tight ends more often, using Likely and Andrews when Andrews is back. to really expand this offense as Duvernay is doing this thing in the backfield, and Drake and all the other guys that are emerging too. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this team improves. Things are turning up. I was nervous for a while and as skeptical and didn't want to fully embrace the success we were having because there were still some inconsistencies. But right now, looking at the team, I believe this could be the team that I hoped it would be. Again, I'm excited to see how things go going forward. So
quick last question. Better Drake performance, Kenyan Drake on Monday Night Football or Drake on Her Loss?
You don't want the answer to that. You don't want the answer to that.
I do. I want to see your hating ass answer.
Don't see, we left music off the show for a reason. I wanted to get my music back, but I left it alone. I guess you know what? I'm gonna give Drake, I'm gonna give Aubrey the nod in that.
Okay.
He makes me mad a lot of times, and then there, as people online have already called out, there's some bars and things that are surely questionable.
Sure.
But he finally did what I was hoping he would do on the project, and definitely delivered with his latest one with 21. So I'll give Drake the nod there. Kenyan Drake himself had a great performance for the Ravens, so I do salute him in that. But I'll give the nod this week to Mr. Graham there. Where are you leaning that way?
I mean, Kenyan Drake has been solid in Gus Edwards' absence and Dobbins' absence for sure. But yeah, I was thoroughly what word? Pleased, I guess you could say, with this album from Drake and 21. So I got to give the nod to Drake. Of course, you've called me an Aubrey's angel in the past. So I gotta give the nod.
A few of y'all make me sick, but this time we're on the same team, so it breaks out. So yeah, good stuff there. Definitely fun things to talk about in week 9. And that's the individual stuff. Like I said, we were talking about the Chargers with Corey last episode. So moving on to other things, Him Zone. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming up in these picks here. And with our new layout now, start with a not MVP. Alec, who's your not MVP of week 9?
I was gonna go with the quarterback hater segment, but I decided to flip the script a little bit.
Switching it up for once. Here we go.
I only got one person. It's not even a person. I got one team on here in the not him section, and it's the Las Vegas Raiders, man.
Yeah.
They are clearly not them. They are not those boys. No one fears them, not even the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they were up again, like 20 points on a team, and they blew the lead to the Jacksonville in the second half.
Yeah.
A Jacksonville team that also only had 2 wins, I believe. It was going on like a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, they're worse with leads than my Ravens are. It's this bad.
Yeah, so I'm completely off the Raiders. Like, no matter who they're playing, I'm picking against them, just so you know. So you can just skip that matchup if you want. You know my answer.
Jeez.
But yeah, not them, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry. They had high hopes, too, with their explosive offense and Devontae Adams.
I think we're witnessing the last days of the Derek Carr era. Fans, and
that's a nasty era.
It's a very nasty era. And I know, taking a step back, I know Raiders fans that watch have a lot of explanations for things and all that. I know every year you could pick apart things happen. Injury one year, and then injury for someone else this year, and then Ruggs, and then Gruden, and then all the other stuff went on. I know that's the case. At the same time, on the field, he just always also seems to come up short himself. And it's just now with not really anything else going on outside, we just want him to go perform. And we added a bunch of help around you to do that. He still has not done it. So it's like, what more do you want? But
we added your college teammate who's like arguably best receiver in the league. And
Hey, again, little goodie, like little goodie said, wrap it up, but it's time to go. So man. It's been tough for Vegas, and we'll see how they right the wrongs of this season so far. But for right now, for sure, put that whole squad on the not them for our first not them team of the season right there.
We'll get to them more in the power ranking segment.
Absolutely. So I guess that's it for you right there. Moving on to one of my things, or just a few more things, and we'll end on yours. For my things, best pregame fit. There were some good ones. We're past the costumes now. The costumes were great last week. Guys stepped back out and their stuff this weekend though. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a nice fit. It was like a full gallery department of the brand, a fully gallery department fit, head to toe, pretty much. He had a hat. It was like I forgot the proper term of it. My apologies, but he had the cone style hat there with the gallery department motif. It was like a denim style jacket with shorts to match or pants to match. And then he had the Air Jordan 5 with the red and yellow Jordan 5s on his feet that looked real cool. Moving on from there, Alan Lazard had this like white, like Poncho-esque type shirt. It was real loose fit and comfortable there that I saw he had on, as well as it was like an olive colored trousers that looked nice. Some boots. I didn't see where they were from. They looked really cool. And then my favorite part, I'm a big fan of the mask and all that. He had this like three-tone balaclava mask that looked real tight on top. So all together looked real cool going into his game last weekend. Though they lost versus whoever that was again, it was just a disappointing performance. He looked good there. And then the last one was Joseph Asai, I believe is how you say his name, for the Bengals. He had this Kaiser Clark pink and black. It was like a barbed wire style. It was a pink corduroy, but it had like barbed wire designs on it in black. Cardigan and then shorts as well that matched it. They look real cool going into this game last weekend. So some good fits there. Definitely very impressive. And then going on to best play. As I said, for one, Lamar going to Isaiah Likely, the fake sprint into the pass over top to Isaiah definitely was impressive. Love when Greg Roman opens up the offense for these guys and definitely showed his creativity there. And when it works, again, it's all praise. So definitely salute to him in that regard. And then someone who has gotten a whole lot of praise in recent weeks and has fought back from our not him allegations. Actually, Justin Fields had a really great game this last weekend. One of his plays, he was scrambling around trying to find somebody, pumped once, couldn't get somebody, pumped another time. I think somebody made a bid on it, and he swerved around them and ran for like 60 yards through all the Dolphins defense and went for a touchdown. And definitely has been great to see his turnaround. I was counting him out. I'll say I'll hold the L in that regard. I'll count him out for a little while, but he's fought back, and now even for my fantasy team, he's helping me out a little bit too. So definitely salute him in that. And then ironically, the team we just had in the not him list, Derek Carr had a nice play to Devontae even in their loss. They had one play where
they were tearing it up in the first half.
Yeah, they were up early, and in the process of that, they had one play where they did a fake dive to Jacobs down the middle. Hollins did a sweep around. They did a fake reverse to him as well. And then Derek Carr dropped back a little bit further, looked upfield, and Devontae was wide open going into the end zone. He just gave him a nice pass, and he walked it in. So definitely some great play from them in the first half. But as we said earlier, it fell apart there as well. So sad to see that it went that way, but good to see how it started at least. So, I want to shout those up for best play. And lastly, for me, best celebrations. Joe Mixon had to be noted. You might know him again shortly. Joe Mixon after his fifth touchdown, it wasn't a crazy one. But just count to five. When you have 5 touchdowns, it has to be acknowledged. And him just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in front of I think who was that they played against?
Who'd they play?
Whoever that was.
Panthers,
I believe. Yeah, just him doing that in front of Panthers fans and players and whatever. Definitely was cool. And then someone who's been on here a couple of times now, Miles Sanders got in the end zone and did the love don't cost a thing, the Nick Cannon dance that he does in the movie there. That's always a fun one. Miles Sanders is always pretty creative with his dances in the end zone after scoring, so definitely appreciate that. And then one that I liked, but people are calling the best, the one that they've seen all season, and I'll let you decide. The Vikings scored, and they did a celebration where they did like a bowling ball where Adam Thielen, I think, had the football and rolled it into the team, and like the whole team was in the end zone, and they all fell back when the ball got in there. It was cool, and I liked it. And it's on the list, of course. People are calling that the best celebration of the year. Would you say that's the best one that you've seen this year?
I don't know if it's the best.
Yeah, I think I've seen the other ones earlier this year that I pointed out that were already better than that, but it was cool seeing a team one like that, so I'll give him his praise. But people gassed the hell out of that, so I was like, whatever.
The best one too for me is, there's been like some other funny ones, but I love Jalen Waddle just doing the waddle. It just works perfectly. Yeah.
As I said, week 1, that could have been on here every week pretty much because I believe he did it again this week as well. That always could be mentioned, and salute to him for that. But people call that Vikings one the best one they've seen. So I'll put it in there as well. I respect for y'all. So yeah, fun stuff.
People drinking the Vikings Kool-Aid in a lot of ways. Well,
I guess so. We shall see. But fun things across the board there. And now going to your thing lastly for HIMVP, who had the best performance of Week 9?
Yeah, well, you already mentioned the number one guy who probably should get the nod, but
okay,
Joe Mixon. He had 211 all-purpose yards, 5 touchdowns. It seemed like all year the Bengals trying to establish the run, and he's kind of just running into the back of offensive linemen. Not really a lot of holes there, but he was able to capitalize on this porous Panthers defense and went off on my fantasy team too. Taylor had him for 55 points or whatever.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, I had no shot. Once that happened, I had no shot. So yeah, that was rough. Number 2, I got Ken Walker on here. I've heard his nickname is K9, which I love that.
I'll go with that, I guess.
That's a solid nickname.
I don't like calling a black man a dog, but
I don't. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh God! Yes. Hold on. All right. Oh snap! What just happened?
Switch the camera.
I didn't do that. Hold on. Fix this, please. Okay. Here we go.
Oh man. But yes, I thought it was a catchy nickname for sure. But he had a solid week once again. As the rookie, he's not really looking like a rookie out there. He had 109 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Not at all.
Been pretty dominant at the running back position. Looking like a top 5 back in the league right now, damn near, and leading the Seahawks to another win. I think they're 6-3 now. So had to give him the nod. Devontae, we mentioned, he had 146 and 2 touchdowns. I think 90% of that was in the first half. Too. Yeah. Like, I thought it was going to be a monster day.
You keep putting guys in here that lose the game. They have to win the game, too. That has to matter.
This is true. This is true. But I wanted to give Devontae the nod, regardless of the loss, because he's the one bright spot, really, in that Raiders offense at this point. He's probably regretting his decisions right about now, but he was cooking. Justin Fields, he lost too. He lost too.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
But he went off. He had 123 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and then 178 yards rushing, which I believe was the record for quarterback rushing yards in a game.
I believe so.
Yeah, he had a monster day. They still came up with a close L, I think like 3 points to the Dolphins.
Hey, they fought hard though. We didn't see that coming.
Right. And they've been on, I think I asked you and Matt a couple weeks ago, like, are the Bears good?
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet.
They're not what they are.
Yeah.
They're not going to win the game, but they'll be close.
It seems like they've kind of unlocked Justin Fields, though. Unlocked his confidence at the very least.
Yeah.
And he's playing like a confident quarterback right now. And he's got that burst, clearly. Like, they should have been allowing him more design runs, like, in the past, because he, as you mentioned, that big 60-yarder, he was just running by guys like they were standing still almost. Right. So, yeah, he had a great day. And then lastly, Mahomes didn't throw for a lot of touchdowns, but 446 yards. And he had the 63 yards on the ground and a touchdown, a crucial rushing touchdown to win that game. So I had to give Patty the nod there too. But it's got to be Mixon. I mean, 5 touchdowns. Yeah. It's rare. I think Kamara had that on Christmas last year, and maybe someone else. But yeah, 5 touchdowns is that's him type stuff. So I got to give it to Joe Mixon.
Yep, that's always my criteria. Who's the most dominant, and Joe Mixon was clearly that. So I'm in full sync with you on that one. So great stuff there. So that's it for the Him Zone. But we are here another 3 weeks, 9 weeks in the season now, and we're back again for our Them segment, ranking teams, and we have MVP discussions to have and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, definitely excited to do that. So we'll jump into that right now. I'm gonna get this loaded up. But yeah, it's definitely some good things to discuss here, because yet again, things have shifted a whole lot.
Have they? I haven't thought about it.
Well, I'll do this. First off, here's our picks from the last time we did it, from week 6. We have the Eagles at 1, Bills at 2, Chiefs at 3, Giants were at 4, Vikings at 5, Cowboys at 6, Jets at 7, Dolphins at 8, Ravens at 9, Bengals at 10, and then some other notables. The Packers were at 15, the Seahawks 19. We had I just said Packers.
Yeah.
The Broncos were 26. The Bears were 30th and things of that nature. So that surely will shift around a little bit when we do this again. And I'm excited to see how we fix this right now. So here we go again for our them segment. Let me switch screens real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. So week 9, updating our power rankings again. I always want to make sure so they don't take it on our stuff. We'll shout out to Bladen and all those guys at the State Hot Pod. Appreciate y'all for coming up with this. Definitely a cool little system for us to do a little rankings of things. They got update the QBs on this. We can do a QB one as well if we'd like to do that this season too. But here for the teams and giving our picks in that regard. And yeah, let's jump into it. So here we are for week 9. After week 9, and we're going based on right now. So which teams are better? And projecting for Titans or Commanders.
Titans.
Seahawks and Bucks.
Seahawks.
They play this week at 2, I believe. Steelers and Niners.
Niners.
The
only hard one will be the mid-offs.
Right. Eagles right now.
Yep.
Saints and Giants is Giants.
Yep.
Vikings and Pats is Vikings. Rams and Dolphins is Dolphins. Raiders and Chargers is Chargers. We already heard what you said about the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Jaguars and Chiefs is Chiefs. That was a debate after week 3, but now
that was long in the past. Now
they fooled us. Texans and Colts. Colts, but barely. Lions and Packers.
It's the Packers, but barely.
The Lions just won, didn't they?
They just beat them too, but that's only like their second win, right?
They both look bad.
Yeah, I mean, you could give it to the Lions because they beat them.
I'm gonna give it to the Lions, to be honest. Out of respect for the win they just had against them.
Okay, yeah.
Cowboys and Broncos, Cowboys. Bengals and Browns, Bengals, correct. Panthers and Bears.
Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Bears. Panthers haven't been like the worst team in the league still, but still. Yeah.
Ravens and Bills is somewhat of a debate again, but I still say Bills for right now, just barely. Cardinals and Falcons. Falcons, actually. Bucks and Commanders.
Bucks got a decent win. I'll give it to them.
Yeah, we'll give them the respect for the last one. Titans and Bucks. I say Bucks just because the Titans really? Well, maybe I'm thinking too much about that last win because it was against the Chiefs, but just saying that I really didn't like that performance that they put out on Sunday night. I was hurt by that, but the Bucks haven't been good either. So you might be right in that it's still the Titans, but
I think it is. And the Chiefs probably the best team in the league right now.
I'll give the Titans the respect still, but yeah. They got to pass the ball somehow. My Lord. Jesus Christ. We'll talk about that later on, but oh my God.
I'll give this to the Seahawks.
Seahawks, Titans for sure. Seahawks, Jets at Steelers for sure is Jets.
Yeah.
Niners at Jets is Niners, but it's close, right?
Yeah, I think the Jets are a 6-win team, and they just beat the Bills.
If we're going just off record, I think Jets have a better record. But if we want to look a little bit more ahead, the Niners are going to jump them. So do you want to – what call do you want to make?
Because it's power rankings and it's more right now, I would say the Jets.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Salute to them for that.
Projecting, you'd probably have Niners going farther. But
Pats and Saints.
That's fairly close too. I think the Pats are above 500 now. Saints are 3-6. I didn't realize that. I'm gonna have to go with the Pats.
That's fine. Giants and Pats is Giants.
Yeah.
Vikings and Giants. I think it was the Vikings.
Vikings, yeah.
Raiders and Rams. We know how that goes. Rams and Chargers. Chargers. Chargers and Dolphins. Texans and Jaguars. I think it's still the Jaguars. With Jaguars again, they have some work to do.
Yeah.
Jaguars and Colts.
I think it's the Jaguars.
I might get the Jaguars out again. Correct. Broncos and Packers. Broncos.
Pretty close, but yeah.
Yeah, but Packers have been god awful. Lions and Broncos. I think it's Broncos again.
Yeah.
If the Broncos are high in this list, I'm gonna be mad. I'm not trying to do this on purpose.
They'll be about 25 or so.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Panthers and Browns is Browns.
Yeah.
Browns and Bears. I think it's Browns also.
Is it?
Is it? You tell me. I thought that was somewhat straightforward, but if not, then
have the Browns been doing anything impressive lately? I don't. I think they're both the 3-win. Yeah, Browns 3-5, Bears 3-6.
Well, all I know is Redacted is going to be back by the next time we do this list. So, are we projecting it all again or no?
He'll be back for I think the week after we do it again, because they have like a bye. They have a bye week, like week 12 or something like that.
No, the bye week. No, the bye week is I think this week, and he's back week 11 versus the. I thought or no. Maybe not.
I don't think they're on bye, are they? Maybe.
I don't know, but he'll be back soon. Is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
that man is on the way.
This is power rankings for right now. I think they're close. I mean, you could give the nod to the Browns.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Cardinals and Ravens. I say Ravens pretty
easily. Yeah.
Ravens and Falcons have been
the Ravens,
but still the Ravens pretty easily. Steelers and Commanders.
Commanders
and Niners. Niners, Bucks, Niners.
Yeah.
Niners, Titans.
Closer.
Correct.
I'd say the Niners right now. Yeah.
Niners, Seahawks. I say Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seahawks, Jets. I say Seahawks.
Okay. That's close. They're both 6-win teams. You got to put more respect on the Jets' name.
You got to put on Geno. Don't forget Geno, though. Same thing.
I love Geno.
Eagles and Seahawks. Yeah. Eagles. Raiders and Saints. We know how that goes. Saints and Rams.
Saints? I don't.
I'm not mad at either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's ugly for both right now. I think they're both 3 wins.
Right.
I don't know.
Quick coin toss. Just first react. Just
who would win this game?
Jesus.
It's rough. It's rough out here in these mid-offs. I'll go the Rams.
I'll say Rams, I guess. Rams, Pats.
I'll go Pats.
Pats, Chargers, Giants.
I feel like, did the Giants have a down week? Or they were on bye. They were on bye.
Yeah.
I'll go Giants.
Dolphins here versus the Giants.
Yeah, Dolphins.
Vikings, Dolphins.
Oh, I was going to say Vikings.
Over the Dolphins?
Yeah. I think they're 7-1.
Hey, you were the one that said they were frauds, so
I think they've had a kind of easy schedule, but they've been playing well. So
yeah, that's fine with me. Packers, Texans.
Packers, one of the few teams I think they're better than.
Packers, Colts.
Oof.
Colts have been
Both teams have been I'll go with Packers. I think their prospects look better. They got Rodgers versus Ellinger, so.
Packers, Jaguars.
I
might give Jaguars that.
It's the same team essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
You saying Jags?
I guess so. Jags, Lions.
Say Jags.
Jags, Broncos. Didn't they just play? Oh, yeah, the Broncos won.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Chiefs, Broncos, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs, Cowboys, Chiefs. Cardinals, Panthers. Panthers are worst team in football, I believe. So Cardinals, Bears.
Raiders are worst team in football.
There's a few. They're fighting for that spot.
Bears. I think they have the same record. Cardinals and Bears. I don't like these Cardinals, man. I'll give it to them, but they're not a good team.
Cardinals, Browns then.
And I'll give it to the Cardinals. I like some of their talent a little bit more right now.
You just said they're a bad team.
But I like some of their individual talent. Like I like Hopkins more than anyone on the Browns.
Bengals, Cardinals is Bengals. Bengals, Falcons is Bengals.
Yeah, they tore them up.
Bengals, Ravens is Ravens.
Is it?
Ravens are ahead in the division. They won the head-to-head.
They beat the head-to-head, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravens.
Raiders, Steelers.
It's maybe the one team they're better than. What are the Steelers? Are 2-6, both 2-6.
Yeah, disgusting. I'll give it to the Raiders for this.
I think I give it to the Raiders too.
All right, Raiders, Commanders. Commanders, Saints.
Commanders.
Commanders, Rams.
Oof. That's rough.
The
Rams are in the same boat as them essentially right now.
Correct.
Who wins this head-to-head?
I say the Rams do, but I'm not confident in that.
They should. I'd say the Rams.
Rams, Bucks. They just played. Bucks won.
Bucks,
Pats, Bucks.
Yeah.
Bucks, Chargers. Chargers, Titans.
I'd go Titans here. I'd trust them more in a head-to-head.
Titans, Giants.
Giants beat them too.
Giants, Niners.
Your call.
I still say Giants, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Giants, Jets, Battle of New York.
Dang. I think they're both 6-win teams, right?
Yeah.
6-3, 6-2.
If the Jets still had Brees, I would say Jets, but I'm gonna give it to the Giants.
It's interesting because I got questions about both their quarterbacks.
Yeah. And I trust Daniel Jones way more than I trust Zach Wilson.
Yeah. I'll go Giants.
Yeah. Giants, Seahawks. Didn't they play? They played, didn't they?
Recently, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Seahawks, though.
Okay. Seahawks, Dolphins is Dolphins.
Yeah.
Eagles, Dolphins.
Eagles,
Vikings.
Eagles.
They play soon, right?
I believe so. They already played. Like, the Eagles beat them earlier.
Oh, okay. Panthers, Texans. Made off.
Like Panthers had a little optimism a game ago, and then I got completely tossed down the drain when they played the Bengals again.
And the Texans, I mean, they had Pierce shows flashes, but that's all that you really get.
It's Panthers. The Texans are a 1-win team. So
okay.
Panthers,
Colts.
I'll go Colts. Jeff Saturday's boys.
Oh yeah.
I'll go Bears here.
Bears, Packers.
They're gonna play very soon.
How many wins do the Bears have? I feel like they haven't actually won games.
They're both 3-win teams.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like they don't actually win games. They just have good individual performances from guys.
Yeah, they're both 3-6 in the same division. I think they play each other very soon.
The Packers look god awful right now. So if you want to say Bears, I'm fine with saying Bears, even though they've lost the last few.
I think it's still Packers. I don't understand what they're doing offensively.
I'm fine with either way.
Yeah.
Packers, Browns.
Both 3-win teams again. I don't know. I'll let you take it.
I'll say Browns, I guess. Browns, Lions.
Browns.
No. Browns, Lions.
I said Browns. Yeah.
Oh. Browns, Jags.
I'll let you take it.
I'll say Browns, I guess. Browns, Broncos.
I'll say Broncos.
Broncos, Cardinals.
I'll say Cardinals.
Cardinals, Cowboys is Cowboys. Cowboys, Falcons is Cowboys. Cowboys, Bengals is.
It's a lot more interesting. I think it's Cowboys, the better defense.
Correct.
They beat them earlier in the season. I'll say Cowboys.
Cowboys, Ravens. I think that's where the Cowboys stopped, though, or no?
I'd like to see this matchup.
I would too.
Ravens versus elite Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
I think they're both 6-win teams, I believe, right?
That sounds about right.
6-3. Cowboys 6-2. I can give the notch to the Ravens, but
yeah. Ravens, Chiefs is Chiefs though.
Correct.
Bills, Chiefs is Chiefs.
Correct.
Texans, Steelers is
Steelers.
Steelers. Panthers is Steelers.
Yeah.
Steelers Colts is
Colts.
Colts Raiders.
Colts.
Colts Saints.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I'll go Saints.
Saints Bears.
I'll go. I don't know. I don't know. Give it all these mid teams.
I'll give Justin Fields this one.
Okay.
Bears Commanders.
I'll go Commanders.
Commanders Packers.
I'll go Commanders. They just beat them too.
Commanders Lions.
Commanders.
Commanders Jags.
Commanders again.
Commanders Browns.
I go Commanders. Let's see.
Commanders Broncos.
They just went on a run. What are the Broncos? They are 3-5. I might still go Commanders. I don't know.
Commanders Cardinals.
They got a better record than the Cardinals too, man.
Commanders Falcons.
I'll go Falcons. They've been surprisingly all right.
They just got like seven in a row right there.
I know. They just went on a run.
Falcons Rams. I say Falcons.
I do, yeah.
Falcons Pats. I say Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcons Bucks. I'll let you call that.
Oh man.
We're almost there.
I'll go Bucks. I think they'll write some of these.
Yeah, Bucks Bengals is Bengals though. Bengals Chargers. There's your Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert debate
again.
The
Bengals. I definitely trust the Bengals here.
Bengals Titans. I say Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals Niners.
I still say Bengals right now.
Bengals Jets.
Bengals right now still. They torched.
Bengals Giants.
I'd have the Bengals over the Giants. I don't know about you.
Bengals Seahawks.
Shout out Geno, man. What you think? Seahawks?
Seahawks.
Yeah. Bengals offensive line got to work out some things.
Cowboys Seahawks. I say Cowboys.
I say Cowboys.
Cowboys Dolphins.
It's a really good offense. I'll go Cowboys though.
Cowboys Vikings.
Give Vikings a nod. They're only a one-loss team.
Vikings Ravens.
I'll give Vikings a nod right now.
Vikings Bills.
Bills.
Bills Eagles.
Still the Eagles.
Eagles Chiefs.
Still the Eagles. Only undefeated.
And there we have it. Can I zoom in? Slide it over. There we have it. Again, make sure. Shout out Stay Hot Pod. Shout out to the boys for that. Appreciate the love. All that Bladen, all them guys. And here's our updated Week 9 power rankings presented to you. As you saw, just going pick by pick and getting it all done. So our top 10: Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Vikings, Ravens, Cowboys, Dolphins, Seahawks, Bengals, Giants. And then some notables bouncing around. We got the Jets right outside at 11. The Falcons have made it to the other side. They're at 16. For those that are on the podcast, the list shows up in two sides, splitting up 16 and 16. On the left side, the top 16, and the Falcons finally on the left side there. On the right side, the Rams have dropped down. The Cardinals are over there at 20. The Jaguars are back on that side, dropping from top 5 originally to now 23rd now. The Packers are at 25th. The Saints are at 27th. The Raiders are at 29. And then the last 3 from below them are Steelers, Panthers, Texans. So, yeah, interesting stuff there. What stands out to you from there?
I think the Ravens might be a little bit too high, slightly. Like, I like the Cowboys a lot. Dolphins had that big comeback on them.
I'm fine with that.
I think they're a top 10 team for sure, but
Correct.
They might be a little bit high. 49ers. I think the 49ers will continue to go up, but I think they're fine where they are right now. On the other side,
Will again asking about him. Will Redacted get the Browns to the left side?
Maybe to the left side, but not to the playoffs.
Okay.
So, like, I guess playoffs would be the top 14 teams. So
yeah,
Yeah, they might get over to the other side, but I don't think they make the playoffs because I think Ravens and Bengals do.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Any other jumps I could see? The teams on the right side, I really don't see them making playoff pushes.
Yeah, I think the Packers are already done. I think they're not going to be able to figure anything out this year. Plus, they just lost guys. I think Dobbs just went down for a couple of weeks. Watson's questionable for whatever reason, something like that. So they're not getting any better. Odell's not walking through that door anymore. The Bears might actually start finding a way to win games. So they might not go left side, but they might jump closer to 20, though. Same with the Saints, too. The Saints are bad, but they have weapons there. And if they can figure out the quarterback position, because Andy Dalton's been hit or miss, and James
Michael Thomas once again done for the year, it looks like.
Yeah. So, but even with Olave still there and Jarvis Landry might be back and stuff like that, I think they can jump a little bit higher at least, just to note. And then the Jaguars, again, we saw flashes early on. If they can turn it back around, there's a chance that they can jump up a little bit higher again too. So there are some chances for some guys to move around a little bit, but I think for the most part that left side is going to stay as it is. I'm going forward. So I think this is our midway point now. So for this to be midway the season, I'm real confident in this list. Again, I will say even as the guy that is a fan of this team, Ravens might be too high on the left side. But besides that, I think everything else is as it should be. So good stuff there. Let us know what you guys think of our list in the comments and all that kind of stuff. It'll be posted on TikTok and everything else as well. Definitely fun things there. And we'll end our episode, as we always do, going on now to week 10 with the quick picks and all of that. So let me close this out. So, here we are. That was a fun stuff there. I'm going to now end the episode with our most notable thing, our quick picks. Going to be a fun week 10. Excited to jump into it all. So here we go. You ready, Alec?
Yeah.
Oh, and then also as we do, we're going to interject some little quick questions as well. We added that a couple weeks ago. And we're going to make that a thing going forward. I like adding the little fun questions as we go along. So week 10 quick picks. Thursday, Falcons at Panthers. Falcons at 3 points. Alec, who you got?
They just played it like 2 weeks ago, too.
I thought so, right?
And the Panthers should have won that game. But I think I will go with the Falcons. The Panthers brought in Baker Mayfield last week, which is never a good sign. I'm going to go with the Falcons here.
Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Going on to Sunday in Germany, Seahawks versus Bucks. Bucks at 3 points.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Dang, I'm doing the same thing. Tell me a question I thought I'd never ask, but here we are. Better QB right now, Geno Smith or Tom Brady?
I think it's still Brady. I don't think that Brady's been bad himself. I think the team has. Like, he's still getting the yards. They've had a lot of drop balls. I don't know if you've paid attention to any of that.
Yeah.
Like, Mike Evans has had some bad drops, and just, like, in the last game alone, they had, like, 6 or 7 bad ones where, like, there was a couple walk-in touchdowns he's had dropped too. So like he's still throwing 290 yards or whatever, like in games, but guys around him aren't really making the plays. So I'd still have Brady over Geno, but Geno has been really, really good this year.
In my Max Kellerman voice, world on the line. I need one pass just to save everything. If I need one quarterback, I'm going with Geno. I'm taking Geno Smith over Tom Brady right now.
Brady last week just showed us once again that he still has Brady in him. Where he
That's fine, but Geno's showing out this season as well. I'm going with Geno. I'm going with Geno.
Less than a minute left, no timeouts, and they got the game-winning drive against the Rams.
Against the Rams, who we just said how they've been playing this year. So calm down. But I'm taking Geno in that. That's definitely a fun one. Moving on, Sunday, Vikings at Bills. Bills at 4 points.
You said Vikings at Bills?
Vikings at Bills. Bills at 4 points.
That's a good game. I didn't realize they were playing.
Very much so.
Vikings at Bills. There's concern about Josh Allen's arm.
Correct.
With the potential, like the UCL injury.
Ace Keenum for the victory, for the win.
If Josh is not Josh, I think it's got to be the Vikings. You said at Bills, correct?
Correct.
It's Josh dependent. I'll say Bills though. Bills at home.
It is Josh dependent, but even when Josh has been playing as great as they have been, we see what you call it, chinks in the armor a little bit with his play. He gets too comfortable at times and will lob balls sometimes that don't go where they need to go, or will make a play that shouldn't be made and end up being a turnover. Whatever the case, you can't do that even if he plays. You can't do that against this Vikings squad this year. I'm actually going to take the Vikings in I guess the upset. I guess quick question with that, fun one. I guess for one thing, I guess this is one of the few trades where both teams won. In the Bills getting Diggs and the Vikings getting Jetta in the draft following that. Right. But in comparing the two, better receiver, Diggs or Jetta right now.
I feel like you can't really go wrong with either answer.
Sure, but pick one.
It's more so personal preference. So, I think I'd say Diggs. I guess
we'll go this way. Fantasy draft, you're the first pick, or you're the pick, and Diggs and Justin are on the board right now. Who are you taking?
Probably Diggs, because I like Josh more than I like Kirk as far as the connection and getting him the ball. So probably Diggs. Yeah.
People have very high hopes for Justin. He's still playing great as well, but
he's been great.
I'm taking Diggs as well in that. So but that is not really a knock at all to Justin. Justin is great too. So and I picked the Vikings, so maybe he shows us why on Sunday. So good stuff there. Moving on, Lions at Bears. Bears at 3 points.
I'll go with the Bears.
Justin Fields for the win. I'm rolling with that too. Broncos at Titans. Titans at 2.5 points.
I'll go with the Titans.
I want to say Titans too, but that offense last week just scared me. So they could not throw the ball.
Hey, you saw the graphic too. The Broncos lost last week on the bye too.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Then they find a way. They'll find a way. But I think that what did I say? I said the Titans. Yeah, I think Derek Henry can get through this Broncos defense and find a way in the end zone enough to get the job done. They surely won't be passing the ball. So here's a funny question. Over or under combined passing touchdowns, 2 for both teams, or 2 combined for the team.
Is Tannehill just out indefinitely? Is Malik starting again?
I believe so, which is why I asked the question.
Yeah. So I don't think he throws for any passing touchdowns, especially on that Broncos secondary, which is really good.
So just Russ get over 2 touchdowns, or 2. We'll do 2.5 as the spreads do, over 2.5.
Definitely under. If it's 2.5, definitely under, because I think 2 is his max. So I think he throws 1 touchdown.
I say that the Titans have been doing everything they can this week to figure out a way to figure out the pass offense, and they'll find a way to get 1 pass touchdown. They'll get 1, and the Broncos will get 2. So they'll get over the 2.5. I'm gonna take a chance to take the over on the passing touchdowns on this game. So excited for that. Moving on, Jags at Chiefs. Chiefs at 9.5.
Definitely the Chiefs.
Yeah. Should have been a good game, but I will say this too. In watching some of our old episodes, there have been a few times where you've been like, "Oh yeah, for sure, this team's gonna win."
And then it's gone completely the other way.
I don't know if this is gonna be that game. But I noticed that now. That's all I'm saying. When you have it for sure locks, I might go the opposite way. You're not fooling me
Charles
anymore.
Barkley guarantee.
Yeah, your guarantees have not been working low key, but we'll leave that alone. But yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs in this one as well. Moving on, Browns at Dolphins. Dolphins at 3.5. Dolphins. Actually, no. Switch my pick. I'm taking the Browns in that. I think the defensive things can possibly slow down them enough, and Chubb and those boys in the backfield can actually steal that victory from them. I'm gonna take the Browns in that. Texans at Giants. Giants at 5 points. Giants. Yeah. Sorry for the pause. Okay. Another question though. More rush yards in this game. Dameon Pierce or Saquon Barkley?
Saquon.
I'm gonna take Pierce in that because that's really all they got. I think that's all they got. So that's another fun one to watch. Moving on, Saints at Steelers. Saints at 3 points.
I don't really know. I'll go with the Steelers at home.
Damn. Okay. I'm going to Steelers too. I was hoping you weren't going to do that. I'm going to Steelers too. I think at home they find a way versus the Saints team that just can't find their footing just yet. So, yeah, another good one there. Moving on. Colts at Raiders. Raiders at 5.5 points.
I'll go with the Colts. I'll go with the Colts.
I'll say Raiders. I think they figured it out enough against the Colts, but that's also been frustrating. To that point, yeah. And to that point, quick question: more disappointing season so far, Colts or Raiders?
I guess it depends which fan base you ask. both of them very disappointing. Because of like the hype, I guess the Raiders, but I think the Colts actually like were expected to make the playoffs too.
Right. I think
Raiders, it was more of a question whether they make the playoffs.
There was a lot of hype for the Raiders and high hopes from all of them, and then they have crashed and burned real bad so far. But we had high hope for the Colts. So we had the Colts, I think, beating out the Titans in that division and things still. And they have been.
We saw the Titans, but we had the Colts close for sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, we thought it was going to be close though. Correct. Yeah. So very disappointing there. I guess I'll add in as well since you brought it up earlier. What do you think of the Jeff Saturday signing by the Colts?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly about like the relationship that he has with Irsay. Like as we know, like with hiring in all fields, it's usually like about who you know, not necessarily what you know. And he clearly has no head coaching experience at all.
Irsay was like, I love that he has no experience. It means he won't be influenced by the media. Like, what?
Yeah. It was like they were like trying to make it better and just making it worse every time he said more things. I mean, Jeff Saturday, by all accounts, like seems like a good dude. Like everyone who worked with him at ESPN is like, he was a blast to work with, but he completely jumped the line. Like none of them were like, this is absolutely.
A good move. I didn't see him as a coach at all either. Like he seemed like a great personality, but as a coach, I was like, wait, what? So I hope it works out for him though. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. Well, we'll see how that translates onto the field. So
no ill will towards him at all, but it seems like he completely skipped the line.
Like, I'm sure he seems to be very aware of things. I'm sure he may say the same thing. So it is what it is. But
similar thing to Steve Nash, honestly. Like he didn't have head coaching experience either, and we see how that went. So hopefully it doesn't go that way.
And there are some other variables that played their part, but we'll leave that for another day. Back to quick picks. Cowboys at Packers. Cowboys at 5 points.
Cowboys.
I think Cowboys by a lot more than 5. So yeah. And to that point, more surprising, Cowboys success or Packers failure?
Packers failure, more surprising.
Yeah. I will say too though that the Cowboys, I thought they were gonna be good, but they've been really good. So I want to capture them. They have been impressive. So cool stuff there. Moving on, Cardinals at Rams. Rams at 4 points.
I think I had the Cowboys winning the division too. So I kind of expected some of this. But what was the matchup again?
Cardinals at Rams. Rams with 4 points.
Division matchup. Nasty teams.
In LA.
Give me the Rams.
I'm gonna say Cardinals. Actually, I'm gonna say Cardinals. I don't have an explanation for it.
Yeah, there's no good reason.
I don't like picking the Cardinals either, but I'm taking the Cardinals in that. Better offense, Cardinals or Rams?
Neither. But I was gonna say
I'm fine with that. I'm mad at that.
They both have the quarterback to wide receiver 1 connection, but beyond that, like it's not a whole lot.
Real shaky backfield and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, like, is Kingsbury in the hot seat?
He should be, but I think they have a long leash on him, I guess. So they're going to let him work things out for whatever reason. So it is what it is.
Much of anything. So
yeah. I'll say Cardinals right now, just because D-Hop is looking really good right now, I guess. But Kupp's been good too. So again, neither could be the right answer in that also. So whatever. Moving on, Sunday night, Chargers at Niners. The game flexed to Sunday night. Chargers at Niners. Niners at 7 points.
I'll go 49ers.
Yeah, I'm going to say 49ers also just because the Chargers have the injuries they're still figuring out and all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. But while they are figuring it out, they could be impressive going forward. So I'll ask this. better rest of the season, Chargers or Niners?
Yeah. Health dependent, as we talked to Corey about.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say the 49ers, though, because I already thought they would have a solid close, but then getting McCaffrey kind of takes it over the top with that offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense was already really good. So, and they're in a division where really it's the Seahawks with the only competition at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the 49ers here. The Chargers got to see the Chiefs again and a couple other teams. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers here.
Yeah, I think the Chargers still find a way to stay in the playoff hunt, but the Niners look like they are on their way up heavily. So I'll roll with you there. I'll add this in there, too, for the fun you brought McCaffrey. Better performance on Sunday night. McCaffrey or Ekeler?
Yeah. I'm going to go McCaffrey. Is this going to be the first home game that he's played in for them? It was the first game?
I thought they played – oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I think it is his first home game there.
Okay. So I think it'll be a big game. I mean, he already had a monster game last time.
It's a full setup for him, Sunday night game. I think McCaffrey will show out. But Ekeler has been very vital to that Chargers offense as well, which is why I asked the question. I think he very well could put up big numbers too. He may not go for passing, rushing, and receiving touchdown like McCaffrey can do, but he'll put up a good performance there as well. And it's definitely going to be a fun matchup on Sunday night. So good stuff there. And the last game of the week, Monday night, Commanders at Eagles. Eagles at 10.5 points.
Yeah. Division games can get messy. I don't necessarily see a blowout. I do think the Eagles are the better team, though. So I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Dang, this got dark as hell. The clouds.
I was like, I don't know. I looked away for a half a second. I looked back, and you're in the dark.
Clouds rolled in. My God. But yeah, we'll get out of here. Eagles as well, 10.5 points. Yeah, I think they get both of those to get the dub. Commanders are respectable, but as we saw in our picks over there earlier, but then the Eagles are still on a roll right now and get the job done. So fun stuff there. And the last question I asked, just for the sake of it, we saw in our picks that we just had that the Commanders, we respect them. We talked about the Cowboys, how good they are, and the Giants are good also. So I asked this: are they the best division in football right now? Is that NFC East? Is that the best division right now?
Yeah, it's between the NFC East and the AFC East because the AFC East has everyone above 500 now, with the Pats being 5-4, I believe. So, it's a good question because I think the Eagles are the best team in football.
Correct.
The Giants have been probably the biggest surprise in football with their 6 wins. Cowboys look elite, and the Commanders are holding their own. They're not a great team, but they're holding their own. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'll say yes. To be honest, I think the Bills and the Eagles are comparable. The Dolphins and the Cowboys, like. I like the Cowboys, like in that matchup too, and Giants and Jets, Battle of New York. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think I might go with the NFC East, to be honest.
Yeah, that's definitely neck and neck. If the Pats were just a little bit better, I would go with that AFC East. But I don't like that Pats squad, and they seem to be.
The Pats defense has been really good.
The Pats defense has kept them afloat because the offense is kind of falling apart. But yeah, I think you're right in that NFC East, which is surprising because our preseason we talked about how they'd be NFC least.
Right.
They've been the complete opposite of that. So they've been the NFC beast, or whatever you want to call them instead. So they salute to them, and I guess I'll give a nod to them as well, as currently the best division in football. So fun stuff all across the board there. Fun to get all these quick picks in. Fun to do all the reaction hymn zone and all this stuff. It's only 1 o'clock here, but clouds are rolling in, so it seems darker than it is. My apologies on that. I got the light on, turned on, and all that now. But yeah, a lot of good stuff across the board. Appreciate y'all for tuning back in. Any other last notes on things?
No.
Oh, you want to throw in a little quick Laker question?
A quick Laker question?
Sure. We went 10 games already.
Sure.
They went 2-8 in the first 10. How do you think the next 10 goes? Are we another 2-8 in the next 10 as well?
I haven't looked ahead at the next 10 for them. Because they played a lot of really good teams. I don't think they played anyone 500 or below.
Right.
Every team they've played has been a good team, including the Jazz, who they lost to twice, who are I think 9-3. Like the Jazz have been the biggest surprise of the season.
Correct.
So they got some teams that are struggling coming up: Kings, Nets, Pistons, Spurs. Spurs again. Spurs 3 times in the next 10. So I think the Lakers should go at least 5-5, at least. But yeah, I think this next part of their schedule lightens up significantly. So they will start to be able to put some wins together.
If they don't go at least 500 and they win like 3 games, which is my thought, if they win like 3, should there be a bigger push for some trades, or are we just going to keep this team as it is at this point?
So you're saying like 5 wins in the first 20 games?
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. If they're like 5-15, yeah, like you have to make a move of some kind if you're trying to win the season. And when you have LeBron and AD on the team, I think you are trying to win now. So yeah, I think a move will have to be made, and I don't think it's firing Ham, because I don't think you can blame Ham for that. So it would have to be a trade of some kind. And Russ has been lights out since going to the bench, so you cannot blame him. You can maybe trade him, but
is that upping his trade value, or is that just helping us? Like, what should be the solution to getting this team back into playoff contention?
It ups his trade value for sure. Like if he's playing at a really high level.
So I think the argument, because as great as I like him in that role, and I like that he has support from Ham and all that kind of stuff, and is working and all of that. The argument is that I don't want a $50 million 6-man.
Yeah.
I think that's really the only thing that makes me still hesitant. Like we could take that money, and now that he's upping his value, we can get that and get some guys that can help put some more wins on the board. If he was doing that in the starting lineup, then great, we work it out and can figure it out. But the fact that he's a almost completely different player in the starting lineup versus off the bench, I think
it's like what's the difference to you as far as him coming off the bench versus him starting? Because he's still playing close to 30 minutes. Like he's still playing.
As I said, it's the staggering and giving him the space to operate and play his game, as you said.
No, but I mean, as far as what you're saying, like not wanting to pay a 6-man $50 million or whatever. Like if he's producing, what does it matter if he's coming off the bench and producing? He's been the best player for them the last like 4 or 5 games. So
he is producing individually, and we definitely salute him and commend him for that. Folks are already starting the 6-man of the year campaigns and all kinds of stuff for him. All for that. But to our first part of our discussion, we're still 2-8 right now.
Yeah.
So it's not getting us a whole lot of wins. So we can get guys that if sacrificing him and what he does off the bench for guys that can play along, our main 2 guys, LeBron and AD, that will result in more wins. I think that is what we have to do. So
I'm in agreement. I was just like pointing to like what you were saying as far as like paying a 6-man that much money, like because I don't really think it matters that he's the 6-man if like he's the one that's playing the best out of all of them as far as production on the court.
Yeah, again, but if it's not resulting in wins as we're trying to get, I think, then it's not actually as influential as it may seem. So yeah, we'll see how they go the next 10. As I said at the beginning, we'll get more into NBA things as the season goes on and football fades out. But for right now, we'll sporadically throw in stuff when we can. I guess the last thing of big note, the Nets are not hiring Ime Udoka and going with Jacques Vaughn instead. The Nets are kind of the same spot as the Lakers at this point. Just what do you think of the Nets situation right now?
Yeah, I mean, the Nets are a mess, like we talked about with Matt. I think sticking with Jacques Vaughn, like respect to Jacques Vaughn, because he coached them well, like in the interim before, and
yeah, I was gonna say
felt like he deserved the head coaching job in previous year. So
yeah,
respect to him, and hopefully things work out well for him as coach. Like I don't want to see him fail necessarily, but I'm fine with the Nets meandering, because I'm from day one, like when they made the KD, Kyrie, even Harden move, like I said this was not going to work, and there was various reasons for that, and some of those reasons have reared their ugly heads, like with Kyrie off the court stuff. But I didn't think this was a a formula for success in bringing in KD and Kyrie and getting rid of the depth like for their team. So I think they're going to continue to struggle while they might not be below 500. Like I think they can still be a playoff team like they were last year. Like they got the 8th seed or whatever. But
we both had them in our preseason projections getting the 5th seed.
Yeah,
you see them getting that high still.
In this current state, I don't see that, especially with like the off the court stuff currently still swirling over Kyrie in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that high, but I do still see them as a playoff team just because of the talent, the individual talent. But you don't know how many games you're going to get out of Kyrie. Don't know if he's going to suit up for the Nets again. Still, it seems like they're trying to mend things. Like they met with Adam Silver and met with Joe Tsai and that kind of thing. But it's still a lot of question marks. And then haven't even mentioned Ben Simmons. Like he's been a shell of the Ben Simmons we used to know, who was already a limited offensive player. So they really need him to get going regardless of what Kyrie does. So yeah, I mean, with the 3 of them together, I think they should be a playoff lock still, even with off the court stuff going on. But there's a lot of question marks. So yeah.
Yeah, as you said, Kyrie is the main one. He has all of his things going on, and they posted a list of things he has to do to work his way back. The last report that I saw was where he met with Adam Silver recently and started working through that process of trying to mend things. But still, he definitely has, I guess, fractured that team very, very heavily. As someone that was a top player that people thought they could at least somewhat build a team around, do you think that this is Kyrie's last season with the Nets?
Oh, just with the Nets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this like the last year of his deal?
I have to double check that.
Okay. I mean, regardless, they probably would seek to trade him, but I don't know what the market would be for Kyrie right now because I don't know how many teams. I'm sure a team would take a chance, but I don't know how many teams are going to be clamoring for him because of the off the court stuff. Like it's just become like too big of a distraction continuously, and it's like not the last issue with him. So
he's an unrestricted free agent after this year.
Okay, so I would say yes, it's his last year with the Nets for sure.
Right.
Because I don't think Joe Tsai is going anywhere or Sean Marks. So yeah, I would say this is his last year with the Nets.
Sadly, it seems that way. I don't know what will happen after that. Of course, we still got to see how things play out. But he definitely has ruffled some feathers, and it's been an interesting thing to follow. We won't dive too deep into that right now. But yeah, just watching how it all has played out. Clearly, at least from that broad view, it's going to be tough for him, even as he fixes things, to stay there long term. So I know that's where he wanted to be when he first went over there and talked about how that was home and wanted to really get things right there. But it's been real shaky ever since he got there. And yeah we'll see how it plays out. But interested to see how the rest of Kyrie's career plays out. And just looking forward to the rest of this NBA season as we continue to cover more as things go along. So again, good stuff there. We'll get more in depth and stuff. I know there's other teams that are playing better than expected and all kinds of stuff. Plenty of him zone type stuff to discuss in the NBA. With some very impressive performances and all kinds of stuff going on around the league. I guess that'll be my last thing. Sorry, I'll throw this in at the end. You have a league pass team to watch right now. I'll throw that in as a last little egg.
To be honest, I don't really. Like, I haven't been as locked in on the games as I typically would be. I'm still watching the Laker games consistently, but as far as other teams, I haven't been as locked in. I would say the teams I like have kind of like rooting interest in. Like I still like the Bulls with Levine and Lonzo over there. I'm still a Pelicans like supporter as well with BI being there and Zion, and I got a couple bets on them for the end of the year, so I'm hoping they pull through for me. So those two for sure. There's been other fun teams to watch, obviously, but I think those are the main 3 teams that I'm watching right now.
Got it. As I've probably already said, I'm not really watching Lakers games. I watch a little bit. Of course, they're always on TV. So being in LA, you can't really avoid them. And they're on prime scene plenty. So I do keep up with them. Of course, we talk about them here. So Lakers are still in that mix. The Kings are in there, as I mentioned before. I was real frustrated about that loss with the Warriors. They got chewed out of that victory. But that's the story of every game, pretty much. So it is what it is. Then also, I think the Pistons. I don't know if you mentioned them already. My bad.
No, I didn't
as well. Jaden Ivey and Cade already off to a pretty decent start. Though they've been winning a whole lot of games, but they've been impressive to watch. But another team that we mentioned, the Pacers with Halliburton and Matherin. Matherin's been pretty good as well early on. I won't say he's better than LeBron yet, like he said he was, but he's playing pretty good. And definitely those two. There's a lot of good basketball going on all around. So if you're a basketball fan, you kind of can just turn on whatever's going on around you and be entertained. So good stuff there. And again, we'll deep dive it further later on. But yeah, that's it for now. Appreciate all the love. Follow us online everywhere at Section.300 on IG and TikTok. Twitter at Section Sports, a lot of good stuff there. It's your boy G with Alec. Appreciate all the love. Subscribe to the show and all that. And we'll see y'all next week, man. Peace.
Deuces.